Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing great this morning. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Thanks a lot for being here, for joining us on our talks about things that are of interest to women over 60. Now, having my cup of tea this morning, as I always do, and I discovered a really cool little store in our town called Ritual. I think around the world, but it's at one of these little shops that sells, skincare products and Ayurvedic themed good feel good products. And they have a little series of teas, and I picked up this one. It's called Ginger and Rose, and it's really lovely. It comes in a cute little tea bag, one of those little tea bags that you get the herbs inside. Very, very nice, and it tastes delicious. And I'm trying it with my new green cup. So anyway, I hope you got a tea or coffee or something that makes you feel good this morning, because I want to talk to you about something that's kind of interesting. I just discovered it myself a few months ago, and Rebecca Olkowski, one of our bloggers, wrote about it for us. Now, it's a word and a concept that you may not have heard of. It's Ikigai. It's a Japanese word. It's Ikigai, and it's really a philosophy of life. Started in Okinawa, which is an island in the Japanese, set of islands, and it's one that has been a guiding principle for people in a part of the world that tends to have longer living individuals. So these blue zones. There's about 5 or 6 of them around the world. These are places where people tend to live longer. So the philosophy of Ikigai started in Okinawa, and it's really kind of if you look at it at a very high level, it's a philosophy about how to find balance in your life, how to have purpose that gets you up in the morning and makes you want to get out there and just do something good for yourself and for the world. It's that sense of purpose. How do you achieve it? So Ikigai. Now the concept is very straightforward. It's all about achieving balance in these multiple areas of your life that they consider to be important: love, family, spirituality, a sense of community, your profession, knowledge, all these things that go into making you a happy and serene person, and a person who, according to them, lives longer. Now, it's actually interesting because, of course, we all know that when we're out of balance in all of those areas, we can fall into illness or depression. And it's a very common challenge in industrialized countries where there's so much input and often a disconnect between the things that we care about and love to do, our purpose and our passion, with the things that we have to do in order to survive and to live in this complicated world. So why is it that some people live with or can live longer with vitality and others don't? Well, Ikigai has some answers. Now, they say that the whole secret is to line up those things that we just talked about that are of interest to you, your family, community, profession, and skills, and make them all work together. So if you look in the article that Rebecca did, there's a link to a couple of places where you can map out basically what you love to do with what you can, the skills you can use to make money and live in the world. It's very, very simple. So it's like, what are you innately good at? What skills have you developed over time? And then how do you stretch that into a career or a job or a set of activities that make you feel great? And as you get a little older and you're perhaps retiring or cutting back on work, this becomes an even more interesting conversation, because you may not have an opportunity to be doing things in your day-to-day life that you learned how to do, the skills that you were trained to do, or the things that you love to do. So there's often a gap that's more highlighted as you get older than when you were younger, and you could say, oh, I love to be a doctor or a nurse and I'm going to work in the medical profession. That's easy, that connection. But when you get older, it can sometimes be a little bit more difficult. So how do you make a living and sustain the lifestyle and the passions and the purpose that you want? Now, she says that there are some ways Rebecca says that there are some ways you can do this. She's researched this whole concept of Ikigai. And first of all says, look at retirement as reinvention. If you've got things that you really want to do in retirement that you couldn't do when you were working, this is the time to make that connection And that's the Ikigai principle of bringing your skills and your passions into the purpose in your life. Meet new friends, go on new adventures. Do things that bring out those possible things that you'd love to do with your life in your 60s. Now, she says also this is a chance to stop and smell the roses. It's the time to really appreciate where your life has brought you, and to appreciate and have gratitude for the fact that you are 60 or 70 years old. You're still here, and to celebrate that. Be grateful for your body, and to not create tension, again, between what you love to do and what you're doing. A lot of people say, oh, I wish I could do this or that with my life, but I'm too old, or it's too late to start over. Well, I think that's the thing of the Ikigai philosophy, is it's not. And the women and men in those places have found ways to bring people and nature and their food and their lifestyle into a balance. So, Rebecca mentions one of the key principles in Ikigai is to get out into nature, to really appreciate the cycles of nature and your part in it. And I think that's super, super important. And put more fun in your life. These, according to the research on this group in Okinawa, they have a good time. They talk to their neighbors. They play with the kids. They're mixing and in the community, and that's part of the secret, according to the authors of books about Ikigai, that for their long life. And I think another thing that's important that Rebecca raises is to connect yourself to a higher power. Whether it's your God or your philosophy, your spiritual framework, find something that takes you into a deeper place. Give yourself some time to reflect and meditate, and just be at one with your world around you, not be so self-critical, and to take a little bit of trust in a higher power. Spiritual's powerful. We've written an article recently on this on 60andMe about how our views of spirituality change as we get older. And I think that that's one of the characteristics of the Ikigai, is that there's this connection, the connection to the world and to the earth and to the spiritual undertone, whichever way you define it. And finally, Rebecca reminds us that another thing that the Ikigai philosophy talks about is learning new skills. As I mentioned, if you get up in the morning and you really have this desire to paint or to cook or to do some kind of other technical or just skill you've learned or you love, this is the time to do it. Don't give up. And for us in the Western world, there's a lot of places that we can go, online portals for education. We've talked about these before, places like Udemy and Coursera, where you can learn new things. So if you find, when you're looking at that map, that Ikigai map of what you love to do and what you're doing in the world, what gives you purpose, maybe you've got a gap in skills that you can learn by going online or going to a school or going back to school. It's this whole thing of having a curious mind, keeping an open mind to new things. And I think that in doing that, you find the things that you love and you can put more focus to it, and then perhaps achieve that kind of balance that the Japanese concept of Ikigai offers you. I just found this so fascinating. When I read it for the first time, I was, wow, that really makes a lot of sense. Living in harmony, with all the different aspects of your life and your interests and the people in your lives and the things that you do. So creating a sense of purpose is going to balance your life and enrich it. And that's, I think, one of the key goals for me and hopefully for you in your 60s and beyond. Thanks, Rebecca, for writing this article. I'll leave you a link to it so that you can read it in more detail and learn more about the people in Okinawa who live to be over 100 as a regular thing, and what they do in their lives around this idea of Ikigai to support it. So, are you incorporating the principles of Ikigai into your life? I'd love to know how you are. If you understand those principles of balance and focus and purpose, how are you incorporating that into your life? Well, I'm looking forward to reading your comments on this, and I really hope it's helped you, to go out into the world today and to start doing the things that you love and the things that give you purpose. And I'd love to know how you're implementing Ikigai into your life. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Go out and do something fun and purposeful in the world. And I look forward to reading your comments. And thanks again for being here. Check out our website, 60andme.com, and let me know how you're incorporating Ikigai into your life. Take good care, everyone. Speak to you again soon. Bye-bye for now.